John, let's bring him on, man.
You want to bring him in? All right, let's do it. Hey, I'm going to click the button for Rekdt. You're coming in first, my friend. How are you? Hey,
welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Totally.
Loud and clear.
Can I bring in Rachel? Is that A-okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Come on in,
Hey,
Rachel.
Rachel.
Welcome.
Everybody.
All right, we'll go ahead and get Jamie, if that's A-okay.
Jamie,
Oh, that was nerve-wracking. Did we land?
you're in.
We're here. You're here.
You're in, buddy.
I see Juneau might still be working on a little bit of OBS camera. I'm not sure
I
if
see
she's getting
that.
situated or not.
The little
We can
logo.
bring her in if that's A-okay. Or we could just kind of let Smelly come crash the party.
Wait.
Oh.
Nope. She's there. Boom.
Juneau,
Yeah.
welcome.
Juneau.
There she is. Hey, Juneau.
Sorry, you should never expect a hacker to know what they're doing with their own technology.
That's okay. We knew this thing would be
Especially
live. That's the fun of it. Well, we'll get out of your way, everybody, but we can bring in your special guest, and then I'll just scoot right away. Is that good for you all? Hey, run with the show?
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect.
All righty.
I love how we all did different things with the little subtitle. I just did home. I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm at
Home's
home.
good, yeah.
That seemed right. Yeah.
Smelly's here.
How did
Smelly.
you guys get inside of my computer?
Wow.
Took a lot of work, man.
John
Yeah.
Ham Sandwich.
The crazy cat guy.
Long
We're here
hair
again
guy,
together.
Jamie Tobacco. Jamie Anime. Juneau, the lady I spoke to once because she was stranded in Texas. I remember that. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hello, everyone.
Wait, can we just do 45 minutes of whatever story that is?
Yeah.
I can
Yeah, I
shut
kinda
up.
wanna
I
hear more
see
about
my
that.
time to whatever that was.
45.
All right. I don't know who is the leadership here, but I will turn it over to you, and Anthony and I will see you at the other end of this. Please have some fun, guys. Enjoy.
Thanks, ham sandwich. Bye.
Bye.
All right.
So, excellent. How's everybody doing? We did a dry run yesterday without Smelly, and so this is going to be interesting. We're making sausage live here. I think we're going to kick off with maybe an introduction. Some people don't know who all of us are. Let's start with Rachel, and then we'll go around. So, Rachel, kick us off.
Yeah, sure. My name is Rachel Tobac, and I am a hacker. I focus on hacking people. So I like to hack over the phone, text message, email, etc. I'm also the CEO of Social Proof Security, which focuses on how you can avoid getting hacked as a person. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Jamie?
Oh man, no pressure. It's hard to follow. Jamie Williams. Where do I even say? Started Intel, went back to red teaming, offensive ops, all over the place. I like memeing stuff on the internet, but less so on the internet now. And I'll pass it back to, I guess you're emceeing, so you.
Hey.
We'll play popcorn. Back to you.
Juno's next. Let's go, Juno.
All right, hello. I'm Juneau. I've spent the past 6 years working as a cybersecurity consultant, doing red teaming, a lot of web application pen testing, hardware hacking, and payload development for phishing. Outside of that, I also spent 5 years running DC214, the Dallas DEF CON group, and I'm a member of the Cult of the Dead Cow.
Awesome. Smelly? Who are you?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Smelly Smellington. That's my legal name, believe it or
Yep.
not. That's what my parents wrote on the birth certificate.
I'm going to check that ID at DEF CON.
Dude, do it if I go. Yeah, so I'm the guy behind Vxunderground. If you guys never heard of it, I collect malware, I write malware, I reverse engineer malware, I sing about malware, I dance with malware. I'm a big malware guy. I've been doing it for a really, really long time. It's my thing. I love it so much. Somehow by posting deranged stuff on social media, it got pretty big. I have 42 million malware samples on my website for free. Please download it. Give it to your friends and family, your grandmother, your neighbors. They need it. And I ended up here just by schizo posting on social media. I saw them talking about it, and I said, hey, can I hop in? And they said, yeah. So now I'm here.
Hell yeah.
If you've never heard of me before, I'm going to look like a crazy person here. So please, I'm sorry to everyone. I'm so sorry, Rekdt.
No, no worries. This is my first time meeting you, and also I've never heard of you, so.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So you saved me from so many like last minute gifts. I'm like, I can just download malware and just wrap it up, and there we go. Done.
Yeah, no, for sure. I
Yeah.
saw Rekdt on social media though. He's like 6'5". He looks like Thor. He's got that long hair. I was like, bro, stay away from me. You're scary.
So you're
And
not
I-
a tiny
and I do.
anime woman?
He's a big
I thought,
boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like he gave me wedgies in high school. Stay away from me, bro.
Hey, I might give you one at DEF CON, so we'll see.
Please don't.
You have to show up. Assuming you're
hope
wearing
so.
underwear, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, a real quick one for me. So I've been in cybersecurity about 15 years now. I currently run a cloud security program for a giant mega corporation. And yeah, I've done pretty much everything under the sun, cybersecurity related. And now I'm stuck in leadership and there's no escape. So don't go into leadership if you don't want to get stuck there. That's my pro tip for going forward. Y'all ready to kick off with some questions?
Let's do it, Rekdt.
All right. So the number one question we got all over social media was, how do you get started in cybersecurity? Like legitimately, right? Like how do you actually get started and how do you actually get hired in cybersecurity? So Rachel, you want to kick us off? And
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty non-traditional path. So hearing me talk about this might not be the path that you would choose, but I got started at DEF CON. What's up? Here we go. You should definitely go, Smelly. It's very fun. But basically, I feel like you need to do stuff in order to determine if you're good and you like it. I think a lot of times people put a lot of emphasis on reading and listening to podcasts, and I think that's great. But unless you actually get your hands dirty and try things, it's going to be really hard to know what you actually enjoy. So I got started at DEF CON. The first time I ever hacked somebody was in a glass booth in front of an audience of 500 people. I have a background in improv and musical theater, and I'm not going to break out into song right now. And
not this time.
Not this time. But I think that like made me feel comfortable in the booth. And yeah, I got second place 3 years in a row. So super consistent. That's how I got my start. And people asked me if I could build a company and start training their org and make videos and everything. So kind of the rest is history.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that Rachel's number one to be number two. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Number one.
I got to get you that sticker. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Jamie, what do you got?
Okay, yeah, Jamie Williams. I'm doing intros again, apparently. I don't want to like foot stomp everything, but I agree with what Rachel said. I did a more traditional path. I like studied, computer science, engineering, and stuff, and I was like, I'm going to be a computer nerd, just forcing myself to do it. I actually went to college to play baseball, and then eventually I was like, I should do this cool stuff. Yeah,
About you?
I pointed at a wall and was like, pick a major. I don't really care. Like I'm here to play sports and do sports stuff, and then I was like, that's not gonna work out. I don't want to sleep on my parents' couch forever.
So you're the wedge guy, like you're a jock. You're gonna
yeah.
Smelly thought it was me, but it was really Jamie.
Oh no, yeah. I was like hiding in the back. I was like,
dude, stay away from me. Don't beat me up.
Well, now we're not on Twitter anymore, so we can meet more in real life.
Don't bring that up. Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah. But I think best advice I can give, and I learned read all the textbooks, took all the tests, all that crap. And that didn't really open as many doors as I thought versus just nerd out. Like exactly as you said, Rachel, like find what you're interested in and just obsess over it. Like it doesn't need to consume your life, but like there's so much in this industry and it's so changes every day, so much going on. So you really have to kind of find what makes sense to you and what you're actually interested in, because otherwise that was 10, 15 years later is going to feel like a nightmare. But if every day feels like a fun adventure and you're kind of actually exploring what's interesting to you, I almost forget I work sometimes. I'm like, this is just interesting. I'm just doing things that are like actually neat. And then you find out other people care about it. And you're like, oh, this stuff matters. This is important. Like I'm actually solving a real problem. I thought this was just puzzles and games and something to kind of kill time. I think that's 2 minutes. So I'll shut up there.
No, that was great. Do you know what you got?
In many ways, it feels like I followed a very traditional path into cybersecurity. I just got my master's degree just last week, in fact.
Congrats.
Thank
no
you. It
biggie
was
there. That's
hard.
It's super easy. Everyone does it. That's
so hard. School is really hard.
And so sort of like Jamie, I chose computer science in undergrad because I want to do musical theater and play the violin. And then one day I was like, wait, maybe I also should find a job. And I got into the hacking side of things specifically through CTFs. And then I graduated college. I was lucky enough to have a job that took me to Dallas. And I wasn't doing technical work. I wasn't really doing what I wanted to do. And I was like, how do I get out of this? And for me, that was through a lot of local communities. I started going to the Dallas Hackers Association and the Dallas DEF CON meetups, and it was through that community where I was able to meet people who would say meet people who might be willing to take a chance on me as a brand new pen tester, as well as I got up and I started talking. I didn't know much about technical security, but I got up on stage and I gave a presentation on the prisoner's dilemma, where I made people act it out with beer as a prize, and started talking about game theory, and was just kind of loud and annoying and always there until somebody said, "Hey, we've got a junior pen testing role if you'd like to apply." And then once I got there, the first thing I did was not just try to develop my technical skills, but I actually sat down and did a free technical writing course, because I wanted to hit the ground running and doing something at the level of or better than my peers. And I wasn't going to learn how to be a super elite hacker overnight, but I could make sure I could control the writing. And that's something that I think is really important, no matter how incredible your technical skills are. Being able to communicate those ideas and make it known that you are passionate, you're nerding out about these things, is what's really going to help you.
Also, just fun note, so far, 2 out of 3 of us are musician or musical inclined. And I've always noticed that, like, people who can read sheet music are also really good at, like, pattern recognition and a lot of the stuff we have to do in this field. Not saying go grab an oboe or, what is that little crappy thing you want to play?
Piccolo.
Yeah. No, the recorder. Remember? Did everyone have to do like
this?
Yeah. Don't go grab one just for the sake of it. But I think it's interesting how, like, certain humans just are drawn into this industry.
It's actually 4 out of 5. I don't know about Smelly, but I know myself, Rachel, Jamie, and Juneau all do music.
Yeah.
What music do I do? I'm terrible.
Oh wait, you don't do music? I thought you just said you did.
No. It was 2 out of 3 so far because I was.
Oh, okay. Now it's 3 out of 5.
I do a very drunk karaoke, but that's
all right. Now it's 4 out of 5.
That's important.
We're back to 4 out of 5.
Man, whenever I got started in cybersecurity, I was like 13. And by that, I mean, I used to play this game called Halo 2. And I used to play it competitively all the time. And people would whoop my ass in there. And I encountered cheaters a lot. And I was like, man, how are these guys doing that? I got to get involved in this game cheating stuff. Mm-hmm. And from there, I discovered this thing called botnets and denial of service attacks. And I was like, dude, this is badass. I got to get a botnet. How do I get a botnet? And that's how I got into malware. I was a little, people call it a skid, I guess. I hate that term. I think it's kind of cringe, but that's what I did. I used this thing at the time called BioZombie. If anyone's been around malware for a long time, maybe they remember that. But I had a little BioZombie botnet, and I had 15 infected computers. I thought I was the most hardcore guy on the planet. I was like, I am FBI most wanted. I've got 15 to 20 infected computers. I'm going down in history. And then from there, though, I was like, man, how does this malware stuff actually work? Because it was just like a pre-made tool, And so then I went and I was a broke kid. I ended up stealing a book called C Primers Plus 5th edition from a Barnes & Noble. And I ended up reading that book cover to cover. And I was like, bro, this C stuff is badass. I'm going to be the best malware guy ever. And I sucked. I was awful. My code was garbage. It was pathetic. I used to go in IRC and people used to make fun of me. They're like, bro, what are you doing here? And I was like, I don't know, guy. I'm just here. But I kept with it, though. I thought it was a lot of fun. I never went to conferences. I never got a degree. I don't have any certifications. I just kept writing malware. And then when I hit 17 or 18, I was like, man, I got to do something else. And so I ended up getting.
Wait, you did all that in 4 years? That's insane. Yeah.
So then when I was like 18, though, I was like, man, I suck. I guess I got to get a job now because my dad's like, you got to get out the house, dog. And I ended up applying for an entry-level software engineering job. I showed them my GitHub and my malware code, and they're like, well, we don't need a malware writer, but can you do like some regular C code? And I was like, it'd probably be a little bit easier. So I did that for a while, and then slowly over time I moved up, and I went from entry-level software engineer to mid-level, then senior. And somewhere during that time, I made this crappy website called Vxunderground, and that got pretty popular. And I was sharing all my malware code and stuff. And then a bunch of people were like, hey, man, you do C and stuff. Do you want to write malware? And I was like, that's what I've always wanted to do. But I didn't even know that was a job because I never went to conferences or anything. I didn't even know this was a thing. Like I had no idea. So then I turned into red teaming, I guess is what you guys call it. And I did that in like 2019, 2020. I don't know. And then, so I don't know. This is how I ended up here. Never went to a conference, never, no degree, no cert, no college. I'm literally just some guy vaping in his underwear writing malware. I am not a cool guy. I am not John Ham Sandwich or Rachel Tobacco.
This keynote is sponsored by Barnes and Noble.
You're right.
I was going to say statute of limitations, and you just admitted like 3 crimes, but
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer. I think you're good.
Oh, it's all good. That was like 20 years ago or something. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
They don't care.
It's funny too because you blazed a trail, like a fantastic trail that I don't think anyone can follow. Like that's just so unique. It's a thing that happens once in a lifetime.
Don't do what I did. It's probably a really bad idea. Don't get a botnet. Don't start ratting people to steal Xbox accounts. That was so dumb, bro. I was such a dumb kid. I did phishing and all sorts of stuff, but I was just a dumb kid, man. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was having a lot of fun and I was extremely curious. And I was by no means a serious threat actor. A lot of it was just morbid curiosity and seeing what I could do. And so, yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own path.
My path is, I'd say, fairly standard: help desk to engineering to development to, I would say, then cybersecurity. And so, I mean, I think if you summarize, right, like everybody who has shared now on the panel, right, that there really is no single way to get there, right? Like there's no secret sauce. There's no like, here, you follow this specific formula and you'll make it into cybersecurity, right? Like you got to find something that makes you unique. And that's what makes you good on paper to get into an interview. And then you have to sell yourself, right? So people skills, technical skills, critical. And then once you have those, right, you have to make sure you can differentiate yourself from the audience, right, from the rest of the competitors that are around you. So look for things that make you special, right? Look for things that no one else is doing. Look for hot topics that no one wants to go chase, right? Become an expert in something that no one else is an expert in. That's how you get hired, and that's how you really like launch that trajectory. Anything y'all want to add?
Can I interject for a second?
Yeah,
I really want to say
it.
something, man. So my website, right? I have a bunch of followers, and sometimes people invite me to these Discords and stuff, man. And I just want to say I see so many noobs just sitting around doing nothing, literally nothing all day.
Yep.
Like they'll go in there and they'll be like, "Oh, look at this resource channel, bro," and they'll list 1,000 resources and 1,000 courses and 1,000 books, but they don't do anything.
Right.
They just sit around in Discord all day. I don't know what they're doing. They don't actually apply themselves. Like, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, Smelly, what's the best course? I don't know where to start." I'm like, dude, just pick one. Do it. Go.
Yeah.
Stop sitting around. You just do it. Like, you just do it. That's it. That's literally all it is. It doesn't matter. If you took the path and it sucked, then you're like, okay, well, at least I learned something and I know this sucks. And then you try something else. You have to fail to succeed.
Yep.
You have to be willing to be really bad at stuff. That's like the scary thing. And you have to be willing to be bad at stuff kind of publicly sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is scary, but it's kind of a necessary part of learning, especially in hacking.
Totally.
Yeah, hacking's illegal and for nerds.
Yeah.
But by volume,
we all know that
fixing printers is like the #1 path to cybersecurity.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you can fix a printer, you're actually the #1 hire candidate.
Because it's all trial and error and being terrible for hours. And then like once you make those stupid mistakes, you're like, I'm not doing that again. And I think it's just that mentality over and over and over again.
Juneau, you got something to say? I can tell. Hit us.
You know, I'm definitely somebody who can. I'll sit there with a big list of resources and go, "Oh my god, I don't even know where to start," and kind of freeze. And so I can definitely see myself in that. And I think, yeah, that's the thing that I've had to learn that's kind of been the hardest to accept in this space is that I don't know anything. Everything that I learn teaches me about 20 more things that I don't know.
Right.
And so, my overall knowledge might increase, but the, overall percentage of what I know versus what I don't know decreases. Mm-hmm. And, the realization one day in my first pen testing gig that I could use my notes, because I think especially coming in from a academia style background, I'm like, what do you mean I'm copying someone else's code in? That's academic dishonesty. And learning how to I think it's very, very hard for a lot of people early in this space to say, hey, I am new. I don't know anything. And that will only hurt you. And so I definitely agree with Smelly's advice of just pick something and try it. I know it's terrifying, but once you force yourself through, the world could be at your fingertips.
Yeah.
'Cause failure is cool and badass. I fail all the time. You know how many malware projects I've started and then absolutely failed? I have a giant directory on my computer. Dude, I don't even have project names anymore. I just smashed the keyboard. I'll be trying to look for code, and I'll have a project called like Schlermy McGlumpkus, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I got to figure it out. Like you just fail and fail and fail, and it's I don't know, man. You just got to be
totally
like this. I don't know.
This panel's so far off the rails already. We're
we're just chaos. But I gotta say, that's such a good point because like that's why this is like such a team sport. Because like every day you like talk to someone and like they know a bunch of crap that you don't know, and you know a bunch of stuff they don't know, and even like looking at yourself, I've looked at code I wrote last week, and I'm like, who wrote this? Like this is not. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. So yeah, definitely that embracing that like I don't know, but I'm willing to figure this out. I think is probably day 2, like lessons learned.
Totally. I'm going to speed round through some of the chat here because we've got some questions that have gotten blasted in. So I'm just going to distribute these as we go. Smelly, how do you feel about AI malware?
Dude, that's from Flip Zero. That's the guy with a kooky looking cat. Dude, I love your cat. I love your cat so much. AI malware, I don't know, man. I mean, it's slop. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of depends. I've noticed a significant uptick in what I believe is AI generated malware. And you can kind of tell because there was this malware that was targeting Steam platforms and it worked and it was cool. And I thought it was interesting. And I think they had a very creative approach that I personally have not seen. Other people said they've seen it before. I haven't, whatever. Either way though, so I mean, it's functional malware, but there's a lot of parts to it that are missing, right? And so like it'll work, but it'll actually be missing more like key evasive features. Or it'll just be like I don't know, man, like it'll be like .NET code, or in this case it was Python, right? But it was a Python script itself, but it wasn't obfuscated. Like the C2 it used was weird. It didn't try to blend in its traffic. It didn't do anything to try to hide itself from Windows. Like it was, and on top of that, it noted and documented its own code. And I was like, oh, it's how nice of them. Like it was very easy to reverse engineer and
I love that. I love a well-documented malware.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But then though, I think on the other hand, there's been a significant increase in malware volume, whereas more sophisticated threat actors who actually know how to code are using AI to kind of augment themselves and really hit the gas and push out malware a lot faster. And so, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? The dorks are going to keep being dorky, but the sophisticated threat actors are going to have, like a hot flame under their ass, just hitting the gas and going. But I mean, I use AI for malware stuff. I don't like vibe code and all that, but AI to me has been an excellent search engine where I can't find like a good code example. I'll ask Claude or I don't know, whatever GPU is thinking for me. I'll say, hey, have you seen this before? Do you know how this works? And they'll give me a little goopy example. And I'm like, oh, perfect. So I think it's cool. I think it's going to help threat actors, and I think it's going to help regular people. And also, kind of off subject here, just kind of rambling for a second. I've also seen threat actors use ChatGPT and Claude for social engineering, which kind of bleeds over into Rachel Tobac's field, because historically you've seen a lot of people who like they're like Russian speakers, or they were Mandarin speakers or Spanish speakers, and they would use like an English translator, right? And you could tell it was translated English would be broken, or it'd be weird, or they'd have like weird cues to it. But now because of AI, it comes across as beautiful professional English, or even with slang in it too. So AI has been augmenting threat actors in a lot of way, and defenders as well. So I don't know. That's my schizo rant.
Yeah, Rachel's like deep fake videos are like terrifying.
Yeah.
Those are fun to watch, but I'm like, you can be my mom and tell me to take the trash out. And I'm on a plane flying home. And I'm like, what the hell?
It's really scary. And it's one of those things where like, if bad folks are going to use it, then I have to demonstrate it, right? But I don't love scaring the general public. So I try to keep the examples to a reasonable minimum so that people don't get too freaked out. And I've noticed that if people get really, really scared, they're not learning. They kind of turn their brain off and they just go into terrified mode. So, but yeah, I mean, like AI generated malware, AI deepfakes, voice clones, telling people that you're, stealing their kids. I mean, it's just ridiculous, like what folks are doing out there right now.
What's the popping calc of social engineering?
You're gonna have to give me more details on what you're referring
So
to.
like you said, instead of doing something like super crazy and scary, like typically with like an exploit or something, we just like pop calc and we're like, look, I can execute whatever the hell I want. There's a calculator. Woo! Like, how do you do that with social engineering and not like I kidnapped your kids? Like,
yeah.
Rachel's
like
she's
an
holding
iCar
your
for
social security
engineering.
number or your
Yeah.
credit card.
I think usually, like, if I'm using a tool like something like you've probably heard of Geospy AI or like Greylark. I think it's called Greylark now. It's a OSINT tool that allows you to triangulate a person's location even in a moving vehicle. So, demonstrating things like that like, hey, if you get on a call or I see you in the background of a TikTok video or your kid's Snapchat, like I can triangulate your like the exact street that you're on right now. And I think people don't realize that like AI is as good as it is right now. So it just freaks people out. And I try not to scare them too much, right? Like I don't want them to like not be able to sleep at night, but because honestly, like for most people's threat model, it's just not relevant. But if I'm working with a high-powered executive and I'm trying to protect them, it's important to be able to demonstrate the scary stuff.
Can I interject for a second?
Malware. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So as far as social engineering, right, I think a lot of people kind of step over like the real world examples, right? So if you look at like Scattered Spider, whenever they were compromising things, when they were under the ALP-V umbrella, if you want to call it that, dude, their social engineering wasn't that crazy. In fact, a lot of times they themselves wouldn't do it. They would hire other people to do it for them. They'd find, like, unironically, they would find someone on Discord. They would find some dumbass kid. And I'm not kidding when I say this, by the way. They would look specifically for women because they thought women would be easier to social engineer men, especially on help desk and stuff like that.
Correct.
Like I'm not joking either. They would literally be like, "Hey, we want you to talk and sound like a dumb girl who doesn't know what she's doing and needs computer help and wants them to sound like, oh, I need your help, blah 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 blah." And they had incredible success. That's how they compromised MGM. That's how they were able to get initial access a lot of times, literally feeding into the ego. And I guess maybe sexism a little bit. I don't know if it falls under that. I don't know. I'm not that guy. I don't know. But so that's what makes it effective. And I mean, they sometimes they would kind of do it what I would call almost like splintering, right? So they'd have one phone call where they would just be trying to gather information, and then they'd be like, okay, I figured out a little bit about the network architecture, this guy, their schedule, whatever, click. And then maybe 2 days later, they'd have someone else call trying to social engineer, and then pivoting off the information they had just gathered, they would kind of go from there too. And so I think with a lot of the social engineering stuff, I agree with you where I think some people get like hyper paranoid where they're going to be trying to do like this crazy background research on you, where in actuality, in real world examples, it's not that sophisticated because you don't need to be that sophisticated to succeed. You really don't.
That was something that I really tried to stress when I did phishing engagements, which, there's a little bit of there's a lot of difference between kind of the email-based phishing and the vishing ones. But one of the things that I really, really cared about was how do I do this ethically? Because I never wanted to send an email that said, like, here's a list of who's getting a raise or here's who's getting fired, because those are things that materially impact people. And, I like to focus on things that like people wouldn't get in trouble for having opened in the first place. As well as for me, my big focus, especially because I enjoyed writing phishing emails, but my real passion was writing the malware. I thought the assumed breach testing was just, if not more important, because that's a way to go, okay, somebody's going to download and detonate malware in your environment. Let's see how far it gets. Let's see, and that's actually something that I used Vxunderground for a lot, was let's see how far this type of malware would get. Like, where do you catch this? What type of things are getting passed? And I think it'd be hard when you're like talking to professional kind of executive folks to help them reframe it from, we have to stop the people who are going to click on these things, to how do we handle this kind of epidemic of social engineering attacks, especially as they are only getting better in the ways that y'all have mentioned. That's just my 2 cents.
Absolutely.
That's a really good point. Like, phishing is a technical problem, and technical controls should protect the user. I've seen a lot of red team reports that said exactly that. It was like the conclusion felt like blame the users for clicking on stuff, and like a non-technical person would think, oh, I just need to fire these people and then we're secure. So like, yeah, I think that's especially people kind of getting into this field, being aware of like our words matter, and like we might not be talking to the most like, you know, in-depth not they're smart about something else, they're super wicked in their own field, but probably finance or something, but they might not understand like what the nuance of what we're communicating. So make it super easy and explicit of like, this is what I'm saying, this is why it matters, this is what I want you to do. Don't really let people make their own conclusions, because they're probably more likely going to disappoint you, or at least choose their own path, which might not agree with what you were trying to say.
Totally. I met my wife, I think, around the same time as my cybersecurity career kicked off, and I'm still not sure that she's not a spy, because she's too hot to not be a spy. So just be careful out there, people. You
The
never
long
know.
con, yeah.
You never know.
I need to
You
meet
never
your
know.
wife, Rekdt, apparently.
I know. Yeah.
I was wondering where you're going with that. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. You got to be careful. I'm telling you.
I'm scared already.
The next question that popped up in the chat was around burnout. How do y'all feel? How do you dodge burnout?
I don't. I get burnt out all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You probably see me
Has
take
anyone
long-
not burned out?
Yeah.
And then also, who's not burned out right now?
I take large breaks from social media. You'll probably see me go like month or two without posting anything, and I don't respond to anything, and then I'll come back. I think it's important just to like realize that social media isn't 100% real life, and just take a break whenever you don't feel like doing it. Also take a break from hacking in your free time. I think that is something that a lot of us don't always do. You know, I hack for my job, and then I'm doing it on a Saturday night. It's like, what am I doing? Like, I need to go watch a movie or something. So yeah, just take breaks. You'll feel better.
I'm going to use that as my permission slip to have deleted my Twitter. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think exactly as you said, I think it's burnout's not something you're going to avoid. It's something, at least in my opinion, you manage. It's like, and again, it's finding the parts. Obviously, these are jobs. There's going to be some crap you have to do that you don't like, but you kind of have to find that routine where like, don't sprint, stop, sprint, stop, sprint, stop. Find that like marathon. Like, this is how I work in a week. This is how I work in a day. Sometimes there's going to be surges and there's a bunch of crap I have to do and it's a long day. But find those balances, get outside hobbies, talk to people, but kind of don't think so immediate, think long-term. So like, I think everyone's a little bit different. Some people can work crazy hours, certain hours of the day. I think just embrace that. Like, you don't have to work a 9 to 5. I work very strange hours, like morning, take a break, afternoon, late at night, but just don't feel like you have to fit into a certain box. Just whatever works for you and works for everyone around you, that's what you should be doing.
I definitely had this moment of, you guys are managing your burnout.
Right.
I think one of the things that comes to when it comes to dealing with burnout, it kind of ties back to one of our earlier points, which is sometimes you just have to sit with failure. And that's really, really hard when you love what you do. You know, love what you do, you never work a day in your life. No, love what you do, you work 40-hour days and take everything way too personally, because it is personal. You put your heart in it. And so I think learning how to, you know, accept messing up, not solving the problem, maybe not today, maybe not ever, and learning how to, you know, go, okay, I need to ask for help on this without it feeling like, oh my God, I'm a failure. This is proof that I'm not supposed to be in here. Because I think imposter syndrome and burnout often go hand in hand. It's this, oh my God, I don't belong here, so I'm going to overcompensate. And I also think it's really, really important when you start to feel yourself burn out, start to reshuffle things before it actually hits. And that's way easier said than done. I personally started to really burn out at the end of my degree when I was still working, and you know, I can't just take a break in that moment. And what I learned is, one, the break will take you. But two, like for me, it was focusing on hobbies that took me away from my computer screen, be that music or writing, and trying to find the thing, you know, trying to find other things I enjoyed outside of this and reframe cybersecurity as a career that I love and am passionate about, as opposed to my entire personality. I also think, I recommend social media breaks for everybody. But yeah, I'll turn it over to someone else. Sorry.
Man,
I think-
I am the
Oh, go ahead.
exact opposite of you guys. I'm like, get off social media. That's where the party is. I'm like, what? Leave social media? Have you seen what goes on there? There's threat actors and there's violence and there's drama. I love everything. I love that For You page or whatever, where it's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna start getting to the rated R territory. I'm sorry. As far as burnout though, I get incredibly burnt out all the time, and my key to success is switching gears, right? And so, dude, I'm a total nerd, right? Like if I'm not working, I start getting like sad. I'm like, oh man, dude, I got to be productive. I got to do something. So I can't watch movies and I can't watch anime like Jamie. I just can't sit around watching One Piece all day. Look what it's done to him.
I'm lost and I need to be found. I don't know where I am anymore.
Yeah, I think I agree with Smelly. I'm on his side. I go hard in the paint when it comes to
My
social
connection
media.
died. They kicked me out. I got banned.
We can hear
Yeah,
you,
take-
Smelly. You're not banned permanently.
Yeah,
No, I got banned temporarily. No, anyways, I'll just
karma.
wrap up.
I think
FBI
because you
has
said
entered the
anime.
chat.
As soon as you say anime, it's over for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as soon as
you-
you say anime, it's all over. My bad, guys. I won't say the A word ever again. But no, for managing burnout though, I switch gears, man. I have this giant book collection, and I'm going to sound so cringe when I say this because I know it's so cringe. But I like reading like philosophy and like sociology books and shit. Like I'm not even kidding, bro. I'm like, oh man, I want to read on, I don't know, like nihilism or what Plato said about politics or some like some goofy shit. But I don't know, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel smart. I'm like, yeah, I know what's up. I think good. I'm big brain. I'm not. Anyways, yeah, that's my schizo rant.
We need some Descartes cat memes from you, Smelly.
right.
John Ham Sandwich just messaged me about Kaiju number 8. You know, the darkest time in my life was when my son was born. And not because my son was born, but because for the first 3 months when I had to hold him nonstop from him crying and pooping all over me, was I had nothing to do. And people on social media recommended I watch anime. I watched anime every day for 3 months, and I was so incredibly depressed. I don't know how weebs do it, bro. It was the darkest hour of my life. I watched Kaiju number 8, and God, I can't remember what else I watched. People recommended it. It was One Punch Man was all right. Chainsaw Man was all right, but I don't know, bro. It was weird. People were recommending all these. I don't know.
For anyone listening, please meme Smelly Cat like doing the style of like Saturn devouring his son. With like a bunch of like One Piece and just, like anime in the background. I think that would be. If this one does it really well, we got to get it
Dude, I
on.
don't know what's up with anime, bro. They're always afraid of girls, and they put their hands above their head when they're walking, like the police are behind them. And I'm like, then they get all dramatic with the way they talk. I'm like, bro, how do people watch this? This is not what people do. I don't get it.
I'm interrupting you to make a stupid philosophy joke since you brought up philosophy, and that's also relates to our topic of burnout. And you know, Camus said that Sisyphus was happy, and I'd like to believe that he meant sysadmins too.
Damn, you got way fucking deeper. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I can't say the F word. I'm sorry. Dang, you got way deeper than me on some of that stuff. Dang.
Permaban for Smelly.
Yeah, I'm
For
sorry.
anime
I'm sorry.
effort.
I normally swear a lot. I'm so sorry.
Are we not allowed to swear? I actually didn't.
I think
see
we
that
are
on
allowed
the,
to swear. I think.
Yeah, I
we're-
know,
Okay.
but I
You should
try
say
not to say
anime.
the. I try
This
not
is
to
news
say
to
the
me.
F word too much. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to come off like a complete degenerate. I'm trying to be professional for my boy John Ham Sandwich and Rachel Tobacco and all them. So, so yeah, my bad, dog.
All right, we're gonna jump to another question. We got about 10 minutes left. Alphabet Soup wants to know what's one piece of advice that you wish someone had given you at the start of your cybersecurity career. Rachel, kick us off.
Ooh, one piece of advice. I got a lot of advice at the beginning of my cybersecurity career. The first time I ever hacked in the glass booth at DEF CON, I sat down with a group of like 5 hackers, and they walked me through pretexting, how to think about attacking, how to choose who your target is, how to spoof phone numbers, everything that I didn't know how to do, right? This was many years ago. And I learned pretty much everything that I know about hacking from other people. So I think the advice that I took wasn't really about like business style advice. It was more so soaking up and listening to like the people that were around me and learning the ways that they do things and then remixing it and doing it myself a different way. That's, I think, one of the most important things that you can do in cybersecurity and make a name for yourself is watch everybody around you and then build your own way of doing the attacks. You don't have to copy people like straight up. You can remix it. So that's the way that I listen to people around me.
Excellent. Jamie, what do you got?
Love that. And I hate to do that classic panel thing where everyone just like says the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to pivot a little bit on that.
Plus one.
I think 2-part answer. Number one, short and sweet, sleep more. You can never get enough sleep. I can kill an entire day just like catching up, but go get hobbies. But if you're tired, just sleep as much as you can. Second part is similar to what Rachel was saying. At least from my experience, some of the best connections I ever had, some of the best experiences all started with a question. So like if something's interesting to you, someone does something awesome, just ask them like, hey, what is that? How does that work? Mm-hmm. That's going to open so many doors, exactly as Rachel was saying, not only to like kind of steal it and remix it, but also like people love showing off what they're doing. Like, hey, hey, nerd out, really learn what they're doing. That's a connection and a personal, like, now you have a friendship, now you have a bond, but also it's like, you're not going to know everything. As Juneau was saying earlier, like you're just not going to, but you need that kind of network of, oh, if I have a question about XYZ, I can ping this person. Or I remember XYZ person said this, I can reference that. What did I look at last week on Twitter? What did I wrote last week? So it's really just kind of managing all that, like, okay, there's a million problems to solve. Who can I use? And like, how do I actually make sure like I'm best positioned to know what the hell's going on and what I need to be doing?
Awesome. Juneau, what do you got?
I think one of the best pieces of advice that I got at the beginning of my career was just do it anyways. I believe at the time I was on my way to my first ever talk, which was at B-Sides Austin. And I'd kind of panicked in the green room and I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody's going to know I don't know what I'm talking about and I don't belong here. And they're all going to laugh at me and chase me with pitchforks out of Texas and out of cybersecurity. This is just how my brain works. And what's funny is I actually did have a worst case scenario during that talk. The projector didn't work. And I ended up having to do all my math by hand on a whiteboard. And
that makes you look smarter.
It ended up being great because people were like, wow, that was so cool. This was your first talk. I'm so proud of you. And I was like, nobody knows that I was like bawling in the green room before this. I also won a lockpicking competition afterwards, not because I was good at lockpicking, but I think I was just so amped up that like I'm, basically like raking all of the locks because I'm just like shaking with. But anyway, sorry, that's not the point. I'm in the green room losing my mind and I was just like, I'm so scared. I'm so stupid to have like applied for this CFP and put myself in this position. And I don't even remember who told me, I was just like, I'm so scared. I'm so stupid. I shouldn't be here. And my friend was like, even if this was true, do it anyways. Like, can you accept? Yeah. And I kind of walked up accepting that like, I was an idiot who didn't know anything and that I still deserve to be there because the first part wasn't true, but sometimes you just have to like push yourself through that. And I think that's something at the beginning of your career, a lot of us, you'll never feel good enough to be somewhere. And sometimes you just have to go, you know what? Maybe I'm not good enough to be here. And then that counts as hacking too, because it's social engineering and move on with your life.
Not to put you on the spot, but quick question. How many times have you done a talk and like dreaded it going up into it?
Only a couple, actually. Okay. I love to talk. I got a lot of experience doing the DC214 like current events news for like 30 or so Texas hackers who were very supportive but very willing to call me out on incorrectly cited sources. But that very first one I was terrified for, and then my first DEF CON Village talks as well. But overall, I've done certainly more than 10 talks And that's never the part that's hard. It's the build up, and it's the questioning myself as I'm doing all the research. Usually my freakouts happen as I'm building the talk, and I realize I submitted a CFP and now I actually have to like hold up my own words.
You're too much of a badass to like fall for my punchline. I was gonna say, like, I have exactly what you said. I panic every talk. I'm like, why did I do this? This is so stupid. Like, so much time, so much research. And then you walk off stage and you're like, I am so glad I did this. Like, I regret nothing. That was phenomenal. And I'm gonna lean, so I guess we're doing puppy time.
Yeah. Be wary about YOLOing a CFP.
What was the question? What was the question again?
Yeah,
I was looking at pictures of cats on the internet.
Oh yeah, no, I actually forgot it too because we got off on some deep topics. It was, what would you give yourself for advice starting your career?
Oh man, that's shrimple, dude. You don't have to listen to anyone about anything. I'm telling you right now. I had people all the time be like, "Oh, Schmelly, you got to go to a conference." You don't have to go to a conference. You don't have to get a certificate. You don't got to go meet Ronald McDonald, the king of Active Directory. You don't got to do shit. You just got to do whatever you have fun with and whatever is best. You don't got to do nothing.
Ronald McDonald, the king of Active Directory.
Oh my god!
You know,
What a universe.
I did get a lot of early career advice, such as stop it with all this cringe hacker stuff. It's going to make you look unprofessional and lame. Or, don't apply for this because you aren't qualified. And a lot of that advice, don't listen. So there's definitely a lot of truth.
Can't move on. Who is Grimace in the hacker McDonald's universe? Is that like base 64 encoded junk that actually doesn't decode? It's just
I don't know, man. But people are like, "Oh, Smelly, you're never gonna get a job if you don't go to DEF CON and meet Wizard McGlumpkus, the CEO of Blueberry Technologies." I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm trying not to swear here. I'm just gonna swear. I don't give a fuck about Ronald McGlumpkus and Blueberry Industries. I don't care about meeting people from the antivirus companies. Like, I like them, I do, okay? But I don't want to go hang out with them. I don't want to go to their house and have a barbecue. I don't want to meet their family. I don't want to do after work hours. Like, I don't want to do any of that shit. And so people are like, "Oh, if you don't do that, bro, you're never gonna make it." Well, I'm making it right now. I don't know, bro. I don't want to do any of that shit. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy.
Wait, hold on.
Burglar.
Did you say you like all antivirus companies?
Yeah, I like antivirus companies, dude. I love anti-malware. Dude, I think they're so cool. I have a huge appreciation for their technology. I do. I really think it's cool. I really do. I already know where you're going with this, Rekdt. I know where you're going. I can smell it radiating off of you, okay? We're not going to talk about – I'm not going to say the name, but we're not going to talk about schmalware schmites, okay? I don't want to hint it. We're not going to talk about schmalware schmites. I know where you're going with this, okay? We're not going to talk about that.
I've never heard of them. I don't know anything about cybersecurity. I don't even know why I'm here.
All I know is the Hamburglar.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about Schlurmy McGlurmy. I don't want to go to a B-sides talk. I don't want to. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever.
I will say.
Don't listen to me, okay? I'm just
real quick. We only got like a few minutes left.
In defense of conferences, and this is definitely coming from a place of bias because I spent 5 years running a meetup that I wanted people to show up to. Because I think a lot of people sell it to you as like, go get a job, network, do all these things. And those are all very important things. But for me, it's always been about that community. It's been about, if somebody has offered me a ladder, I would like to build some stairs. And it's about finding, for me, it's always been more about finding cool people that I can learn from. Regardless of their job background or job title. But it can be kind of really hard to balance that in those spaces for sure. But I do think you should come to DEF CON.
Yeah, you should start with RSA. That's the best conference.
Or Black Hat.
Dude, that's the thing. That's where we different. Like Juneau. Your name's pronounced Juneau, right? I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sorry. The E and the A and the U confuse my little brain sometimes. But that's where we totally differ. Like, you're talking about the community. And so many people love that. Like, seriously, I think that's great. But I think so. Some people like myself, since they hear everyone preach that, they think automatically they have to conform to that to succeed when they don't. You know what I mean? Because to me, when people are like, Smelly, the community, I'm like, the community? Fuck the community. I don't want to hang out with these people. I want to watch anime with Jamie at his house. You know, well, not watch anime, but whatever.
And that is community.
Banned.
Because community should never be a place where you have to
Moderators.
conform. Oh,
All right,
speaking of which, real quick, based on something Smelly said, I know you can't raise your hand, but who here doesn't have any certs?
Active? No.
That counts? Cool.
Yeah.
I've never been on one of those where everybody raised their hands.
Yeah, my certs are dead, and they're gonna stay there. Not a fan.
Well, not hiring
All right.
you guys then.
Yeah, that's good because I'm trying to get out of cybersecurity anyway. So
I got
right.
the Ronald McDonald certification.
How do you get unhired in cybersecurity? That's the question.
You,
right,
you shit post and then you end up smelly.
Yeah,
you try so hard to get fired that you actually succeed.
They haven't kicked
Dude,
us off yet.
the last talk I did
Oh,
at Illinois Tech, they almost banned me, bro. I had to stop talking. They had to cut me off. I said some crazy shit.
I mean, do you go back there regularly?
Well, I did it online. I told them I'd do
Okay.
it for $50, and I showed up, and I said some stuff that scared the kids, and the guy cut me off. He's like, "Dog, you can't say that." I'm like, "All right, my bad. I'm gonna say
Your
that."
honorary PhD is in the mail, by
Yeah.
the way. I'm sure they're gonna bring you back and like you're gonna be the keynote.
Well, they
You guys
asked me
wanna?
about-
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Rick. I'm so no. I'll
Oh,
shut
you're
up.
good. No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I think our next speaker is coming up here pretty quick. Do we want to do a quick 15 seconds? Everybody send off. Rachel, anything you want to say?
Yeah, let's do a little outro. I would say if you're into trying things, go to DEF CON, do a B-Sides. If you're into doing stuff online, do that too. That's cool. You could just collect cat pictures and malware. That's great too.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, so smelly. We can't wait to hang out with you and see what you built. It's just going to be fun.
Hell yeah, Jamie, what do you got?
I'll keep it short and sweet. This was fun. Thanks everyone. Thanks for hosting Rekdt. That was awesome. Everyone, that was too much fun. Everyone joining, banter, good times. This is a community with 5 of us and all of you online. Super fun. John and everyone who set this up, big shout out. Huge fan.
Dude, I'm not watching
Awesome.
anime with you. Stop it.
Do you know what you got?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. To everybody listening, remember, keep your privacy in mind, hack the planet, and lie to the internet about everything. And to anyone who's listening, if you're looking for cybersecurity researchers or red teamers, please hit me up.
Yeah, somebody hired Juneau. Smelly, what do you got?
Thank you for emceeing this, Mr. KDT, Rachel Tobacco,
Yeah.
Jamie Anime, Juneau. I appreciate everyone being here. I appreciate everyone for letting me come in last second. I appreciate not banning me and blackballing me for saying crazy stuff. Shout out Ronald McDonald Industries. I don't know, man. I got nothing else, man. Thank you. So I had a lot of fun.
Sponsored by
Yeah,
Barnes
no
and Noble. Yeah,
No worries.
shout out to Barnes and Noble.
The free section.
I dislike Barnes and Noble right now. I've spent so much money there. I became a rewards member. I've spent thousands of dollars there, and they were like, "Oh, here's a $25 gift card for spending $2,000." I'm like, "You slimy little
I'll take it.
Thanks again to our sponsors.
$25 in this
McDonald's.
economy. In this economy, $25? Are you kidding me?"
That is like 3/4 of a book.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We're probably not getting invited back to another one of these. So cheers.
I don't even
Hello,
know how to
Internet.
exit the call,
Goodbye,
dog.
Internet.
I'm cooked. You guys are gonna hear me swearing and everything.
All right.
Over to you, Ham.
Oh, you guys
Well.
were great. That was excellent. Thank you.
That was real good. You went from getting into cybersecurity to getting out of cybersecurity by the end of it. So that was awesome.
GG's.
Thanks, everyone.
That was a real treat. Thank you all.